Today I would like to show you a way how you can use Bluemix notebooks and dashDB to do predictive analytics and SQL pushdown with data in dashDB. We start in Bluemix and in the dashboard we see we already have a dashDB database provisioned. The magic that provides us the API on top of dashDB in Python is this ibmdbPy package. It's an open source package that you can find here in PyPy in the URL shown at the screen. The next thing that we need is an interactive Python user interface, and these are the notebooks. You can find them in this new Spark service in Bluemix, and this is how you get to it. In your Bluemix dashboard, open Data and Analytics, then click on Analytics, and then you can provision Spark services. So let's provision one now. Enter a name for the service instance and don't worry about the pricing per hour, which will only be charged when you really use a Spark context, which we will not do here. Now you can create notebooks. For this demo here, we will just use some ready-made notebooks that you can just use as is. So just select the From File option, and you can find the notebooks that you can upload then in the GitHub project for ibmdbPy, as you can see in the URL here. Go to the notebooks folder and download the setup notebook, the demo data notebook, and the demo notebook itself. Make sure you use the raw file option to save the notebooks on your desktop. So let's start with the ibmdbPy setup notebook and create it as you can see in the video. Once it opens up, you can see that it just holds a simple cell that just holds a few install commands to set up the prereqs and the ibmdbPy package itself. So all you need to do is to just run this cell, and after a few seconds the system is set up for ibmdbPy. As a next step, we do the same flow again, this time for the ibmdbPy demo data notebook that creates a sample table with some data that we use later on for the demo. In this notebook we first have to edit the database URL with the connection properties. You can find them by opening the web console of your dashDB instance and the connection information panel. Copy from there the server name, the username and the password, and replace the according placeholders in your database URL in the notebook. Now you can execute these two cells in your notebook, and in the second cell actually you will find the constructs that create the demo data in your dashDB instance. After it has run, you can verify by opening the dashDB console and look in the tables for the table iris that holds the rows that we will use in a minute for our demo. The demo itself is in the third notebook, ibmdbPy demo, that you upload and create in just exactly the same way. For your convenience, the first cell contains again the install steps deactivated by commands, so you could also use just that cell. Now don't forget to also edit the database URL in exactly the same way like in the previous notebook. And again, for your convenience, in another cell you can find the data load steps again. Now let's scroll to the action. Here you can see how you can easily just create or define a Python data frame representing the data in the iris table in the database. And then you can use it as any other pandas data frame in Python, for instance to describe some statistics with it or to calculate some correlation statistics. You can also do the usual pandas transformations, selections and projections, and look at the sample of the data like you can see here. And finally, you can use your data frame and just pass it into algorithms that you know from SciPy, like the k-means clustering algorithm that you can see here. And by doing that, you trigger the calculation to actually happen inside the database, and this way scale to much larger volumes of data. The behavior and output looks pretty much the same as you know from SciPy. And with this, I would like to end the brief walkthrough through the demo. You will have these notebooks available in your space. You can at any time come back, play around, enhance them, and add your own ideas to that and show to others. For this and all further capabilities of this package, you can refer to the documentation at the URL seen on the screen. Go there, try it out, and let us know your ideas and your requirements.